Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and I wanted to remind everybody that XRP Las Vegas is coming up in May 2024. It's going to be May 3rd and 4th at the MGM Grand. In my DAIXRP.com group, you can get a $25 discount. If you're not in the group, that's okay. Go in the link in the description of this video, and I've got a link to all of it. But the $25 discount is only in DAIXRP.com. Check this out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Oh, it's going to be fun. Okay, now, let me turn that off.
2.
Okay, now these numbers are different than the ones that I was seeing yesterday. Look at these Bitcoin ETF numbers. Top 5 spot Bitcoin ETF, Bitcoin total flows. BlackRock is winning, 497.7 million. Fidelity, 422.3. Then Bitwise, then ARK 21 shares, then Franklin. I believe we're going to be seeing some Bitcoin ETF commercials, I believe, starting today. In fact, my son my 11-year-old is a huge Dak Prescott Cowboys fan. Dak Prescott, for those of you that don't know, played football he's the quarterback. He played football at Mississippi State. My wife's father played football at Mississippi State. So they are all Mississippi State nuts. My sons are traders to my alma mater, which is Auburn University. They won't even wear Auburn University gear. They will wear Georgia or Mississippi State gear. Shame on them. Of course, we haven't had much to celebrate about Auburn lately anyway. But anyway, so today the NFL playoff games start, and Dak Prescott and the Cowboys are one of them. So my 11-year-old literally gets mad at me if I say anything bad about Dak Prescott or the Cowboys, and so I have to stay quiet during that game. But I do think we could very well see some Bitcoin or some ETF commercials. Check this out. Here's one. This is Valkyrie. They've got their advertisement there in Times Square at the NASDAQ. But look who showed up on Wall Street. I guess this is the subway near Wall Street. Impatience is a virtue. Ripple. Ooh, don't you? I just have this feeling that the Wall Street guys are going to hop into XRP ETFs.
We won't be pursuing a big...
Vanguard's not. No, the Vanguard CEO, what he's saying here is the same thing Warren Buffett has said for years. Warren Buffett always said he didn't understand Bitcoin, didn't like Bitcoin, there's no value, intrinsic value. But he also said the same thing about gold. And this is how you know that these guys are up to no good, because gold is God's money. Gold has had value from the beginning of time, from biblical times, folks. So it just ain't so. Gold is money. So listen to what he says.
Bitcoin ETF. Just like we've don't use gold as an asset class for our clients. So it's not that people
We don't make any real money off our clients investing in gold.
Can't invest in there. We just look at asset classes or, what belongs in a long-term portfolio, what has intrinsic value.
It's a great investment for central banks, just not for our clients.
There's cash flows to it, and those are the asset classes we steer people towards. And so we don't go towards Bitcoin or gold or any other of those stable assets.
We don't want our clients in those kind of stable assets. Now, okay, Cowboy Crypto, who is the official cowboy of the Digital Asset Investor channel and is living the life. I love watching his videos and pictures from, it looks like he lives on some type of ranch, and this is the type of thing I would like to do. I want to be on a tractor like Cowboy Crypto. That's the goal. Okay, but he sent me this. There's a lot of BlackRock talk going around. I wanted to show you this.
Mandatory SEC filing dated June 30, 2021 shows that BlackRock, the world's largest asset manager with $9 trillion in assets, has taken significant stakes in 2 Bitcoin miners, 6.71% in Marathon Digital Holdings and 6.61% in Riot Blockchain. The total capital commitment amounts to $382,962,000 and $3.08 million between both miners. Among BlackRock's hundreds of mutual funds and ETFs, broad indexes like its iShares Russell 2000 ETF and its iShares expanded tech software sector own the crypto miner shares. The disclosure comes after Fidelity Group recently revealed that it had taken similarly large stakes in the Bitcoin miners. Valley Forge, PA-based Vanguard Group is currently the largest shareholder in Marathon Digital and Riot Blockchain, with BlackRock leading behind after the disclosure of the recent filing. BlackRock's disclosure is part of a larger trend of traditional financial institutions and investors ramping up their exposure to crypto through traditional equity. BlackRock's first foray into the crypto market was in 2019 when it hired Robert Mitchnick, former product marketer for Ripple, who is now the head of distributed ledger technology and digital assets at BlackRock. In January, BlackRock also filed documents with the Securities and Exchange Commission to include cash-settled Bitcoin futures as eligible investments for 2 of its funds, the BlackRock Global Allocation Fund and the BlackRock Strategic Income Opportunities Portfolio. Later in April, the firm revealed through an SEC filing that the BlackRock Global Allocation Fund held 37 futures contracts with the Chicago Mercantile Exchange Group, which matched the January SEC filings BlackRock made for cash-settled Bitcoin futures for 2 of its funds. Both Marathon and Riot have seen their shares rise and fall with the price of Bitcoin, which reached an all-time high of over $60,000 in April. Marathon has seen its stock climb 754% in the past 12 months, and Riot's has risen 848% compared to a 288% increase in the price of Bitcoin over the same period. BlackRock owns $206,791,012.04 worth of Marathon and $176,170,991.04 worth of Riot. Earlier this summer, China announced a ban on Bitcoin miners. Some expect US-based companies like Marathon, based in Las Vegas, Nevada, and Riot, based near Denver, Colorado, to benefit.
Man, if you don't think that BlackRock and all of this is a play to ultimately control Bitcoin, I think again. Now, Charles Gasparino, he wants to make sure that you don't get too optimistic and make sure you don't think that Larry Fink knows what XRP is. He says, something to keep in mind about my question to Larry Fink about starting an XRP ETF and his non-committal answer. Larry barely knows that XRP exists as a cryptocurrency. He's just a little more fluent in the ETH's status in the crypto ecosystem. That might soon change, but don't read too much into what he said. And so I went and I found the announcement of the Bitcoin ETF where Robert Mitchnick, who left Ripple to go to BlackRock, who is the global head of digital assets at BlackRock, he says, our digital assets journey has just been underpinned by our goal to provide clients with high-quality access vehicles in this space. This Bitcoin ETF is a natural progression of our efforts over multiple years and builds the foundation of capabilities we've established to date in the digital asset space, said Robert Mitchnick. So what we're to believe, if we listen to Charles, is that oh yeah, Larry Fink hired this guy from Ripple to be this. Robert Mitchnick is not just some guy. He is the guy who with Susan Athey, who was on the board of directors of Ripple, he is the guy who created the only valuation framework before Jimmy Valley. I'll whisper that because the crypto police might get angry. Before Jimmy Valley did his own valuation, which you're not supposed to be able to do. You can't do a valuation unless you are Robert Mitchnick or Susan Athey. Anyone else is up for pure criticism. Okay, so now that we've established that, we're to believe that Larry Fink, who hired Robert Mitchnick to head his global digital assets division, doesn't know anything about Ripple and doesn't know anything about XRP, even though the guy he hired is the only person with Susan Athey who has done a valuation of XRP, fundamental valuation, and he knows nothing about it. He knows about how the world is going to tokenize assets. He understands that whole concept, but he doesn't know anything about one of the digital assets that would be used to tokenize the assets. He doesn't know anything about it. And I have an igloo that's still for sale, although it's been pretty cold here the last few days. It still is not cold enough to sustain my igloo probably for more than 24 hours. But it is for sale for those that believe what Charles Gasparino is selling here. Here's Robert Mitchnick from RizXRP, by the way.
Most people recognize that out of all the developments in the blockchain and digital assets ecosystem, DeFi is potentially the most transformative, right? It's also, in some ways, the furthest afield from being able to kind of have widespread adoption. But unlike, in the early days, permission blockchain use case here or crypto here, there's not one institution in finance who doesn't have some path to being disrupted by DeFi, right? So everything else has been a mix of kind of opportunities and maybe threats. DeFi forces everyone to say, what does this mean for us if this actually happens? So everybody's paying attention. You're just not at the point yet where you've got kind of banks and asset managers.
Folks, I've been in this for a long time. If I've learned anything, anytime that they don't want to talk about it, that's when it gets interesting. Nobody wants to talk about Ripple. Nobody wants to talk about XRP. This guy, when he went to BlackRock, it was like he was swallowed into a black hole. He literally changed, he didn't change his name, but he went by Robbie Mitchnick until he got to BlackRock. Now, maybe he wants to sound a little more sophisticated, but that's not what I think. I think he switched it to go. I think he started going by Robert because everybody knew Robbie Mitchnick as the guy that worked at Ripple. I think that, and if you can't find, you might be able to find it, but you got to really look to find his LinkedIn page. This guy has gone out of his way to kind of go quiet since he got there, and they don't tout the Ripple part of things. It's like they go out of their way. Well, here's another interesting thing. Remember Susan Athey, that person that did the fundamental valuation framework with him? Well, I found this video today. Look what she's doing now.
So without further ado, I will welcome our keynote speaker, Susan Athey. I've seen you in the chat, so I'm now confident that you are with us. It will take probably just a few seconds for you to be promoted as a panelist. In the meantime, I will take this opportunity to introduce you. Your biography could take us probably the 40-30 minutes that we have that you have with us. What I will do instead is that I will take this opportunity to do sort of a computational antitrust biography. Very nice to see you. So Susan, for everyone out there, is the chief economist at the DOJ Antitrust Division, which I'm sure you're aware of. She is also the economics of technology professor in the School of Humanities and Sciences at the Stanford Graduate School of Business, where she is currently on leave.
Now, do you know what I would do because remember, Susan Athey, she did the fundamental valuation framework with Robert Mitchnick, previously Robbie Mitchnick. But Susan Athey is was early on the board at Ripple. She's not. I don't think she is now. At least she's not on the website as being on the board. But she was an early board member at Ripple. So if I were Susan Athey and I was the chief economist at the DOJ Antitrust Division, what I would do is pick up the phone to Chainalysis and say, hey, Chainalysis, we'd like to pay you guys to look into those Ethereum disguised whales from the Ethereum ICO. You might find some antitrust issues in this whole thing. And then, hey, let's go look into the SEC over here and what Jay Clayton and Gary Gensler and Bill Hinman were all up to, and Valerie Chapinick, and what was the other guy's name? I'm drawing a blank on his name, but he went to Sullivan Cromwell. Anyway, somebody will remember. Okay, we're going to go into DAIXRP.com, and when we do, my antenna's up on one of these people running for president. Look, I think 2024 is for all the marbles with a lot of things. I think it's for all the marbles with crypto. I think it's for all the marbles with whether our country goes in the direction of good or evil. And I think that there are plants, and I'm going to show you one of them that I think is a plant. And we've seen, boy, one thing crypto has taught me is when the smell of a rat is out in the air, boy, I can literally look around a corner and smell the rat, and then I see him around the corner at this point, and boy, do I smell a rat. And I'm going to show you one that I think is. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, tell your friends and family. If you want to see a rat around the corner, come on into DAIXRP.com.